Radical.
Viewer discretion is advised.
I keep getting interrupted here, and it's the holidays. You'll have all kind of people, family and friends visiting, bringing you presents, which is okay. It's fine. It's part of the holidays and everything. But I keep getting interrupted here, and I'm trying to do my craft. Not my work. This ain't my job. This is my craft, which at one point was a lot funner than it was right now. It's not as fun as it used to be. It's not, you know, and I don't know why that is, but I'll still keep doing it. I'll still keep commentating because I'm not a quitter. I don't give up. But my life would probably be better, to be honest, if I had never really clicked on YouTube. I'm not going to get into that, but maybe in the future. Probably be a whole lot better. Yeah, but we are where we are. I'm one of the best commentators on YouTube, so I guess I'll just commentate because we are where we are. You talk about, in this upload, Adam3K3, I'll leave a link to it down below, is Radical Rick a fraud? And I'm bracing myself because I've listened to a lot of these where they talk about how I'm a fraud, and how they talk about how, oh, I don't like eBegging, yet he's got ad revenue. And he just talks about YouTubers to get a lot of views and things of that nature, right? And I've heard this over and over again through the years. And my response to those people that say I'm a fraud is, well, if that's the case, and, I am all about getting views and subscribers from talking about YouTubers, then kindly explain to me whenever I go through a period where I have 5 or 6 uploads that have absolutely nothing to do with YouTubers. I would have to be the stupidest motherfucker on earth then, wouldn't I? If supposedly my goal was getting views and subscribers. I'm not a fraud. I upload what I want to talk about. And from time to time, if it's a great comment, I feature that comment that left in my comment section, and I talk about something other people want to talk about. So this channel is mostly a combination of what I want to talk about and what other people want to talk about. People talk about the crusades, and you brought up like how people say that I was on a crusade at certain times. I was more or less just wanting to educate people and help people. You said, what does Radical Rick want in your description? It's a good question. What does Radical Rick want? It makes me think about like what I want in real life. And that's a question. That's a good question. I think mostly I just want to be happy. And I want to do the things that will lead me to happiness. Long-term happiness? I don't know if anybody can really kind of judge what would make them happy long-term. I think it's the pursuit of things that makes people happy ultimately. Like, it's the increments in your life, the little raises at work, the upgrades that you get, like the little increments, I think. And this is reflected in video games. Like, let's say, for instance, you got a video game and there was no upgrades and everything you got was unlocked. It's almost like that wouldn't be as much fun, would it? I think that's how life is, right? So I actually honestly, early on in YouTube, I thought I wanted to get like a lot of subs and subscribers. I wanted to become monetized. Like I wanted all that. Those were things I wanted. You ask here, Adam3K3, what does Radical Rick want? Well, I wanted it all. I wanted as many subscribers. I wanted as much money. I wanted. And then what happened was I started getting a lot of that. But then that came with a lot of haters, a lot of trolls, a lot of jealous people. People saying things like, well, you're terrible. Your uploads are terrible. You don't even show your face. You're terrible. Just stuff like that. And I would respond to them. I'm one of the best commentators currently on the platform. No one can currently take that away from me. If you feel free, show me an upload where you're doing some better commentary and entertaining people just with your voice at a higher level, and then I'll be quiet. Well, that never happened, But what do I want? I don't know. I'll hold off on that one. I'll be asking that to myself. That's a great question there, Adam3K3. But when it comes to, is Radical Rick a fraud? What do I consider a fraud? Like, I guess people might come out and they might say, well, that Radical Rick, he's just a fraud because he talks about YouTubers and he wants to get a lot of views because he talks about YouTubers. Is that like what a lot of these channels say when they say that I'm a fraud or something like that? Ironically, then what happens is a lot of these channels probably, they'll talk about YouTubers and they'll say, see, I'm doing it better than Radical Rick. Like, here's the honest to God truth. If you're talking about a YouTuber on YouTube, most times you will get views because people want to drop in to follow YouTuber versus YouTuber. It's a thing that happens a whole lot. Remember the Weapon Wheel podcast with Black Bond and Review Tech USA? You know, they amassed a lot of interaction and a lot of interest because they were actually working together in, Weapon Wheel podcast. So YouTuber versus YouTuber is a very, very lucrative kind of thing. But just because that is the case, people would come by and they'd say, you know what, Rick, you didn't really mean it when you called John Hancock a con man. You didn't really mean that. You didn't care. So I take offense to that. I do. Because I feel John Hancock is a con man in the truest sense of the word. Because he's got a freaking game museum. Well, you don't have a game museum, but he's letting people to believe that he's going to have a game museum. And he was exposed getting donations for the game museum, right? A lot of people don't like the fact that there's a Radical Rick that exists on his platform, and possibly others who speak out against that. But do we call people like me frauds because I chose at that time to speak out on that? I've also, I think, been a masterclass. I could probably be better, though. I'm not perfect at it. In trying to promote people that come to my own channel and giving some shine to people. A lot of my channel was centered around trying to help people and to help those people do better things with their money than donate to some of the scammers, some of the frauds, some of the manipulators, some of the e-beggars, So it was very simple, the concept. It was just to try to help people. But, I don't know. After like several years of, being a masterclass, admittedly, in, I guess people would call them the anti-e-beggar videos, the anti-scammer videos, things of that nature. After several years of that, I want to blend in like so many other things that maybe I started, so many different concepts in 2022. Now, my apologies, Adam3K3, that I didn't go over a lot of things in your actual upload. I kind of went in my own kind of thing, but there's one thing you bring up. There's many things you bring up I could actually have a secondary or third or fourth upload on. I can make a whole series of uploads on this 9-minute upload because I'm a damn good commentator. But there's one thing you brought up, how a lot of people will point to I'm a fraud because I'm all about getting the subs, the views, and the subscribers. Now, in the past, there was a period of time, and I think a lot of channels, can maybe see where I'm coming from here. If you maybe start off as a small channel and maybe something happens, you upload a certain amount of uploads, could be a documentary, maybe a gajillionaire, maybe you had one that just kind of hit and you realize that it was getting traction. It's exciting to an extent to see that your numbers keep going up. But after a while, I realized that a lot of the numbers that were going up on my channel were trash people. I was attracting a lot of trash people. That's the bad part of being one of the great critical satirists on YouTube currently, is a lot of people are trash that you attract. So, to a lot of the people out there that criticize me and they say that I'm just on YouTube and I'm a fraud and I just want to get views, subscribers, and more money, riddle me this. What business sense would it make for me to actually call out people in my own audience, part of my own audience, to actually cleanse primarily a lot of my own audience from the, trash? Like, would it make any sense whatsoever? That's the thing that really kind of is going to confuse a lot of people, right? Now, I'm not talking about like trash that comes by that leaves trollish, jealous comments to me. I'm talking about trash that comes by and they leave out of the way comments about maybe YouTubers I'm discussing. And I'm like, no, that's not going to happen here. Like, for instance, would be one person that came by, and I'm not even going to repeat what they said about a YouTuber, but it wasn't fair. It was out of the way. And I said, no, we're not going to have this. that person, that YouTuber is not doing that. So would it make any sense whatsoever for me to get rid of those people or to ban them from the channel? Somebody that's all about making the money on YouTube is not going to ban people. They're going to leave everybody in their comment section. They're going to want nothing but the most interaction they can get because they just want to grow their channel by any means necessary. So to those people out there that think that I'm a fraud, that I'm actually not honest about everything, then that kind of sticks out like a sore fucking thumb, doesn't it? Also, did I mention this before? But there are uploads that I upload about certain things and topics that most of my audience probably does not have an interest in. Most notably sports, you know? Now, if I upload something about Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, that's only going to get 50 views versus maybe 500 views, I'm going to upload something about Dreamcast Guy or whatever, then wouldn't it make sense for me to just constantly upload things about Dreamcast Guy? Oh, I could find things to upload. I mean, I could. I'm a very skilled commentator. You know, I could upload 15 Dreamcast Guy uploads a week if I wanted to, but it's not as interesting to me, you know? So I'm staying true to myself as a commentator first and foremost, and commentating on things that I'm really going to be excited about or passionate about. And I think that comes through in the commentary. So yeah, there's so many different things I could talk about here. And like I said, there's actually an hour of recorded, unreleased footage from this that maybe one day, cross your fingers, might actually see the light of day. But I appreciate this upload, you know, and I will leave a link to it down below again, is Radical Rick a Fraud by Adam3K3.